y'all, listen, happy Monday, okay? It's Cyber Monday. Anybody shopping online? Okay, I'm trying to do a little shopping online for Cyber Monday. Put my orders in, making sure they're going to arrive before December the 25th, okay? Anyway, guys, listen, happy Monday. Between Love and Marriage Huntsville, Real Housewives of Potomac, and Married to Medicine, they had me all in my feelings this weekend. Child. Now we're going to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville until Wednesday, but I had a little tear. I had to make me a triangle. Tiffany, the Whitlows are leaving us. They done ran the Whitlows off. But it's all right, y'all. I cried. I shed a tear. Yes, I did. I shed a tear. But listen, guys, tonight is the Real Housewives of Potomac. And actually, before I say that, you know, that Married to Medicine and bullying and gaining up on Sweet Tea. We'll talk about that tomorrow. They bullying the young girl. And this don't make no sense. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Come on, Emmanuel. Gonna miss the Whitlows. And Baby Ace. Baby Ace is so darn cute. I ain't gonna get to see Baby Ace grow up because of y'all. Y'all hated on the Whitlows. Y'all done ran them off. And now I ain't gonna get to see Baby Ace grow up. Shame on y'all. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay. Nneka. Oh my goodness. Nneka and Ike. Oh, Ike is activated. How you on mad because somebody unfollowed you on Facebook? And you must not have a lot of followers. Because how you even know somebody unfollowed you? I ain't even got that many followers, and I don't even know when somebody unfollowed me. I'm not studying no social media like that. We're not kids. You hyped up because somebody unfollowed you? We're going to talk about it, though, because Nneka picked Ike up from the airport. You know what? I'm telling y'all, I'm literally on the edge of being over all of these reality shows. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, everybody that's trying to have a baby is talking about ovulation and when we going to have sex and we got to go to the, I'm over it. Can somebody just pop up pregnant? Do we got to hear about the whole journey? Anyway. And you know, he's a traveling doctor. Works out of town 2 weeks and then comes home for 2 weeks, whatever he's doing. Ike and Nneka. Okay. Then we got Gizelle and Robyn. They go out to lunch. Yeah, they go out to lunch and hitting on the waiter. That's another thing that I'm sick of. I'm sick of all this borderline harassment. Now, they better be careful. You see what's happening to Diddy out there. Diddy, run the list down. People come back 13, 20 years later. You better be careful, Gizelle. Leave that young buck alone. In the restaurant. And what's her darn name? Robyn talking about Juan talks loud because of all the yelling he did as a coach he can't hear. Juan only coached for 365 days. Robyn, what are you talking about? He was a coach for 365 days. And somebody in that chat, shout out to Juan. This is what their episode number 4. What is it? Episode number 4. And Juan has been in all 4 episodes. Now, this is a record breaking for Juan. When have you seen Juan this much? And then, you know what? Did you hear Gizelle said? Juan even showed up. Juan showed up when they went out of town to do a little podcast, Reasonably Shady. You know, Juan know how to use Robyn. Oh, good gosh. This is a mess. Okay? And then Robyn, even though teach Gizelle how to moisturize. Oh my, come on, Brandon. All right now. When you Juan working overtime, he punching the clock. Yeah, Juan punching the clock. There's been 4 episodes and Juan's been in all 4. If he dares not show up for this reunion, I will be in Andy's inbox and say fire Robyn. And y'all know I don't get down with the firing. But he better show up for the reunion. Anyway, that's Juan. Okay. And Robyn and told Gizelle the story that Nneka asked her not to tell. But you know that's Robyn for you. Then you got Candiace and her mom. Candiace's mom is going to buy Candiace a new dishwasher. Shout out to the moms with money. Thanks, mom and dad. Yeah, shout out to the parents with money who are okay giving their children some help every now and then. Sometimes we might need a little help. Shout out to those moms and dads. So yeah, Candiace's mom was in the building. You know, Candiace's mom is Candiace's mom. Okay. Yeah, Robyn is still faking the storyline. Hey, misbehaving. And she's still faking the storyline. But it is what it is. Then hey, we got Karen. Karen in her pickleball event. Honey, Karen is the grand dame for a reason. You better shout out to the grand dame. Came in green. Mr. and Mrs. Pickle. Come on now. You know Karen know how to do reality TV. She gonna give it to you. She said it's my event. And see, this is how reality TV should be done. Even though all of y'all not speaking, y'all don't get along, she made everybody come. She didn't handpick who was going to show up. She invited all the girls. And then made them be on teams together. Y'all ain't got to talk, but y'all come into this pickleball and y'all going to play this game together. And honey, pickleball was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. It was a fire that had to be put out. They done messed up the people place. They got to replace that whole rug or whatever because of them in that fire. There was a little fire. Ike got activated. And Nneka and Ike was arguing. He said, be quiet, honey, be quiet. I'm handling this. Eddie, you don't know me? Say it with your chest. I said, what? Over a Facebook post? He said, say it with your chest. Say you don't know me with your chest. If I do say with my chest, what, Ike? He said, I want to hear him say he don't know me. I said, ooh, no. Eddie wasn't ready. Eddie looked a little scared. Then Eddie backed down and was in the corner. Because, see, Wendy told on herself. She said, if you're not memorable and we don't remember you, oh, see, you said the word remember. Eddie went to school with that guy. Yeah, Eddie was scared. Eddie was scared. Come on with the tickets now. Hit the like button, y'all. And share the video. Yeah, that was a whole hot mess. Now, let me say this. Nneka and Wendy, I thought that scene was cringeworthy. Nneka calling Wendy a B. Wendy getting activated. Wendy talking about God made me, he made me perfect and all this other nonsense. Wendy, this is respectfully because I know y'all swear down just because she dark skinned, she getting heated smoke. But respectfully, Wendy, the surgeon did all of that for you. The surgeon did your boobs. You didn't like the ones you were born with. Okay? The surgeon did your nip and tuck. Stop it, Wendy. Like, knock it off. And to get up in the... it's a mess, but we're going to talk about it, okay? I like the way Karen blamed the fire on Juan. Juan, as soon as he started talking, you know, people unfollow people every day. Come on now, Raheem. Every day. And he's hyped up because Eddie unfollowed him. A whole hot mess. A whole hot mess. Yeah, Wendy got too cocky. She was too cocky. It was ridiculous. Dancing around, prancing around. And then, Wendy, you called, what's her name? Mia Slow. Said you ain't got nothing for her. You just said that last week. And now, because you're running out of allies, you like, I want to make up with somebody. And guess who I want to make up with? Mia. I said, what just happened? the phoniness, the foolery, the mess, the nonsense. And I'll give this to Robyn. She's right. Professor Wendy Cepho, come on. Deflection 101. You ready, class? Because here it is. Now, all of a sudden, you want to coexist and make up with Mia. Now, did you catch Mia and G arrive separately? And I'm asking for myself, what the heck did Robyn have on? Looking a whole hot mess. And Chris didn't show up because he didn't want to deal with the people. But she said they got the time mixed up, and Chris had clients. All right, his online clients couldn't wait. So, anywho. Now listen, people. Yeah, Nneka, I cannot with Nneka either. The whole thing is foolery. Yeah. But listen, guys. Y'all know what I need? Because I got to pull this people on the platform up here. Come on now. Thank you, Roy. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Monday night, and we are recapping the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 4, and Juan is showing up for work. Honey, Andy better give him a bonus. He better give him a bonus, okay? Give him a bonus. And this says, In a Pickle. That was the name of this episode, In a Pickle. Let me bring the people on in the building. Hey, E. Hey, in my opinion.
I just want to say who was right last week about this Wendy, okay?
Hey, Deja. Choo-choo.
Hey, Roy. Hey, Chanel, Nikki.
Hello.
Hey, to Dawn.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up? All right. Come on, Shan.
You know what, E?
Hey.
That ran through my mind
What's
when
up,
I was
everybody?
watching this episode. And I was like, E was right about
What's up, Denzel? What's up?
Hey, y'all.
Yes.
All right, let me cover this first scene here. Everybody mute their lines. Go ahead, Dustin.
I wanted to say something in my opinion real quick before you started, Diva.
Sure.
I seen a video about you being sick, so I was worried about you today. So I keep you in my prayers. I hope you get better soon. In my opinion, if you need anything, you have to let me know. So I'll keep you in my prayers, and I hope you get better soon, and I hope you feel better soon. In my opinion.
Thank you, Dustin. I'm on the road to healing. Had to go see my doctor, who's the miracle worker.
Oh, what'd you find out?
All right, we'll talk about that later, Dustin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, because I got to do some Cyber Monday shopping, or else, I wouldn't mind, okay? I got to catch some more Cyber Monday deals later on, okay? Let's get into this. Nneka and Ike. He got an interesting name, okay? She picks him up from the airport. He's a traveling doctor. They're trying to have a baby, okay? Out of the month, he's away 2 weeks doing all, his work. And then he comes back. Now, Nneka said that her cousin called this Wendy's sister, mother, somebody called Nneka's cousin and said Nneka is clout chasing, okay, trying to get in with the girls and trying to take Wendy, like knock Wendy out of a slot. Well, I mean, I don't know why the sister, if that is so, the sister and the mother is doing that, because little do they know, Wendy don't really have a spot. She doesn't, but we'll carry on, okay? Then we got Gizelle and Robyn having a little lunch together, okay? And Gizelle says she spoke to, what's his name? She spoke to Juan. She said, Juan is not my man. Juan said he didn't do it, so I'm moving forward. Then she wanted to say Juan yelled at her. And Robyn said, no, Juan, because all the coaching and you yell when you a coach, he just tends to yell and he got bad ears. Bad ears. I mean, I know a lot of coaches and they don't yell all the time and they can still hear. But okay, Juan, that's why he yells or whatever the case may be. All right. So that was those two scenes with them. And also, Robyn told Gizelle the whole Nneka story. All right. At BravoCon, Nneka seems to think she may be the new Grand Dame appointed by Jizzy. Karen set her straight and told her Jizzy does not decide who wears the crown as the Grand Dame. You better come on and tell it. Let me tell you something. Nobody's going to take that title from the Grand Dame. They're not. When she throws a pickleball event and she comes in there wearing green and said that her and the hubby is Mr. and Mrs. Pickle, the Grand Dame is doing things. Okay? Slam dunk. E, what about those two scenes?
All right. So first thing, I don't know how many times, like you said, they're going to do this whole scene about, oh, I'm trying to have a baby and I'm ovulating and this, that, and the third. If Nneka wants to know how to get pregnant, just go down to the Section 8 housing and to the strip clubs, because you don't have to pay for free information. And like Nene Leakes said years ago on the Housewives, when Phaedra didn't know her due date, it's chicks in the hood who don't know who they're pregnant by, but they know how far they are. Take it from me, having a baby ain't that hard. Let it be natural, especially if the man ain't never in town anyway. Like, why are you forcing this whole thing? Like, that made no sense. But I do find it interesting that the other dark-skinned woman, Igbo woman, Nigerian woman on the show has identified Wendy as aggressive, because here we go with this aggressive word again. Okay, so it's not just the green-eyed bandits who Wendy displays this behavior towards. And keep in mind, last week I called Wendy passive-aggressive several times, and she is definitely that. Wendy is a snob, okay? Wendy is new money. Wendy is new face and new personality. And when Nneka said that Wendy wears the skirt and the pants in her household, though, I immediately thought, isn't this the pot calling the kettle black?
Come on now.
Because yes, Wendy runs Eddie. Let's be clear. But we knew this already, because Mia told us this 2 seasons ago. So now it's confirmed with Nneka, because the African Association on these college campuses, outside of the HBCUs, of course, it's very small. Every African on campus knows every African, be clear. So for Wendy's man to unfollow Nneka's man when this has nothing to do with the man and everything to do with the ladies, this is a telltale sign. So Eddie can unfollow the husband of Wendy's enemy, but he cannot resist liking the Instagram thoughts pictures, okay? Because remember, he got busted for that a couple of seasons ago. He was liking all these hoochie mamas pictures on the Instagram, right? Oh, okay. So now Nneka, where I'm going to pull her coattail is, you're pulling your man around by his nose hairs just like Wendy's pulling hers, because I clocked it. You mean to tell me that a grown man unfriended your grown husband on Facebook, and your husband is in the car asking you like a schoolgirl as his woman if he should go and ask that other grown man about it? Nneka's man is a bozo, okay? Had it been my man, it wouldn't have been no asking nobody, nothing. If you unfriend me, I block you. We ain't cool no more. What's to talk about? And see, I don't understand when men, I don't understand that. To me, that was so disingenuous. Maybe it was for the show, but let's get to this other scene. You said Gizelle and Robyn, right? Gizelle tells Robyn that Don Juan yelled at her. Okay, player from the Himalayas. And Robyn didn't want the narrative out there that Juan is aggressive. And this whole thing about him yelling and coaching for 365 days, the season is not 365 days, D, but let's be clear. And he's not yelling at those people in the training, because when it came to that whole catfishing scandal, he was hands off. Okay, let's be clear. Who was he yelling at? The lady at the laundromat or the person doing his feet at the nail salon? Let's put some context to this. But this is Gizelle's MO. Oh, Juan yelled at me. Didn't she say Candiace's husband made her feel uncomfortable? She said G made her feel uncomfortable. She brought security to the reunion because she claimed she was terrified of Monique's man. Remember that? Gizelle is afraid of every man except the bishop, Jamal Bryant. And so when we're sitting at this food stamp coffee shop, and here is Gizelle scouting for men 20 years her junior. See, Gizelle is only comfortable with men who are her daughter's age. And I'm not certain about anybody else, but to me, that looks predatory. Gizelle preys on men like Jamal preyed on her allegedly. It's a power dynamic there. Hashtag surviving the Bryants. And I want her to date men her own age because this does not look good. And before you go around saying all these men make you feel uncomfortable, take your high yellow ass down to New Birth and go tell the church how Jamal made you feel uncomfortable. That's the story I want to hear. Tell that truth on Pastor Holy Whore. And last thing, Gizelle tells Robyn that Wendy's mom is evil for preying on another family's downfall. And Deba, I got to be honest with you, I almost snatched my TV off the wall because when did Gizelle become so virtuous? Gizelle said, I don't want to be part of that. But you was just talking about Karen when her tax crisis was going on and you told the world she was cheating with blue eyes. You sat at Andy's baby shower and said Monique's youngest son wasn't by her husband and wanted to bring that as the storyline. You and Robyn just sent some woman down to the Unwind with Cardi B show and had that woman tell the interim host Tasha Keebe that Candiace's husband was cheating on her. You did the same thing with Ashley's man and also Wendy's man. Now all of a sudden, Wendy's mom's character is so foreign to Gizelle. Please, if I didn't know any better, I would swear that Gizelle is Nigerian also, and that she is from the same tribe as Wendy as the Nneka because it's giving 419, and I need Jesus to take the wheel.
Well, boom. All right. Thank you, E. E has spoken. Woo! In my opinion, you're up.
Okay, so Nneka. Let me tell you something. First of all, her husband saying that this man is following. Who knows who's following somebody on Facebook? And how do you know that he stopped following you? You must don't have no followers at all. Like, I can't keep count of who following me. Mm-hmm. I don't understand this for the life of me. And then for him to ask his wife, like, should I talk to him about it? Why do you need permission? I'm seriously, I'm not liking them at all. I wish they would get off my TV screen. It's aggravating. Jizzy and Robyn, they had this conversation before they got on the camera, and you can't tell me nothing different, okay? Mm-hmm. Because Robyn mixed that story all the way up and said it the way she wanted. She flipped and dished that thing like it was some scrambled eggs in this pan. I'm so tired of this. And the only reason why Juan is on this show every episode is because he broke and they need that check to pay that house note that they just bought. They don't want to be on this show. They don't want to tell their truth. And for Gizelle to sit here and say, oh, he look like he 18 and you still trying to flirt with him and you asked him how old he was. So you was okay with talking to somebody that was going to be 18, younger than your children. Now make that make sense.
Thank you, in my opinion. Roya, you're up.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday. You know, it's been a rough day. You know, y'all sit up here and support everybody else's foolishness, but we'll carry on, whatever. Opening up with Nneka, you know, Nneka, I believe it's pronounced, I'm gonna pronounce it correctly. Excuse my French, I don't like this bitch. I don't like her one bit. It's giving that you were brought on the show.
Come on, Royale.
Rule out Wendy, and it's giving that Robyn and Gizelle has a battery in your back and they're telling you what to do, what to say, how to say it, when to say it, and you just rolling it on with it. I don't really feel like there's no real beef between her and Wendy's husband and her husband. Like, you're trying to create something that's not even there. You didn't even get to know the girl first, okay? This pregnancy storyline, you know, we could deal without. You know, we've already experienced Candiace going through trying to get pregnant. We've experienced Ashley and her 2 children, you know, doing that. We could have went without this, come up with something new. I don't like as well. I really don't like the way Wendy I don't want to say controls. I don't like the way that they talk to their spouses. That's a better way to put it. I don't like the communication that either of them give to their spouse. It gives very not honorable, and you're supposed to honor your wife and your husband. Like, and I'm not seeing the honor. I'm seeing both of them run over their spouses, and I really dislike that. On to Gizelle and Robyn. As in my opinion said, this was a conversation. To me, in my opinion, I believe that all of their conversations are had off camera. They plan out what they're going to say, and then they come on and say what they're going to say. I'm tired of Gizelle riding this roller coaster of everybody man, everybody man, everybody man. Where's your man? The sexual harassment, the SA that continues to happen on these shows with these young children. I don't even understand why Gizelle's still trying to run behind this young man when she's still running behind Jamal, sitting in his pulpit every Sunday. But Robyn, stop taking up for Juan. You know this man a dog. Stop it. Just stop. I'm really just over Gizelle and Robyn and they whole game that they continue to play with us season after season after season. They play the same game and we keep letting them play in our face every season. I'm over it.
Thanks for misbehaving. I think you and Money are saying this. You hit the nail on the head. Make no mistake, Bravo and the women are aware of the colorism and the optics, so they brought on Nneka to do the dirt.
Did I just say that earlier?
Yep, you did.
I say that earlier?
Yep, you did. And you said it now too. And I think it's so true. And she's falling right into the trap. And for you to be someone with so much money and 7 houses, I wouldn't come up and betray myself like that. For what? What's the benefit to me? Huh?
Who's worried about a Facebook friend? We ain't even talking about a real friend in real life.
That part.
Who's about a Facebook friend?
Who's running behind somebody over an unfollow?
An unfollow. How many people did we go to high school and college and we know but don't remember nothing about them?
Come on now.
But you concerned because this man, a grown man, 2 grown men, one followed the other off of unfollow on Facebook. I was just appalled. I was just like, I mean, if you were going to come up with something to have beef about, we couldn't have came up with something a little bit better, like something.
Just a little bit. And he was big mad. He was mad.
Well, that's because he wanted that man. He been looking at him for a minute.
Oh my goodness. Chanel. I ain't fooling with y'all now. Come on, Nikki. Come on, you're up.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
hey, Nikki.
Hey, boo. Hey, everybody. So this is the thing. With what's her name, Juan. You know, when I saw that little clip or whatever it is that they show, you know, before the video drop or the episode drops, and Robyn was giving him the excuse of he can't hear because he coached. I think didn't he only coach for like 3 years or something like that? But it didn't ring true, because this is the thing. If you've ever had a conversation with someone who's hearing impaired, they're not going to yell at you. They're going to ask questions like, can you hear me? Can you repeat that? Usually the first thing they say out of their mouth is, I'm hard of hearing. I've never heard one say any of those things. So it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And then where is the evidence of all of the coaches that have coached for 20 years and they don't have a hearing problem? So I was just like, I feel so bad for her, because now I feel like I pity her, because it's just like, at first I was just kind of like, well, you know, she just needy and whatever else, but she just, at this point, she's just dumb to me. And I hate to say that, but it is what it is. Mm. What else was I going to say? Oh, about the Nneka lady. Okay. So here's the thing. I really, 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 really like Wendy, but I just have to call things what they are. And so when I was watching this, I was just thinking to myself, I feel like Wendy is not jealous. What's the right word? I don't even want to say intimidated. So I'll say it like this. I think she's threatened by Nneka. And the reason I say that is because if we go down the list of people that's on the cast, nobody except Candiace, I feel, comes even close to Wendy's level of education, intelligence, or whatever, right? Either they didn't go to school or they just don't seem very intelligent. You know what I mean? Because it's like Mia, she just can't speak without lying. Ashley and Gizelle are just evil, in my opinion. But this Nneka girl comes in and she supposedly has all this money. She's really accomplished. Her husband's really accomplished. So I feel like Nneka kind of leveled the playing field, because to me, Wendy would walk circles around the rest of the cast, in my opinion, in terms of intelligence. Candiace I feel like has the best reads and can kind of like get you together. Wendy just gets people together more intelligently. And so I think she peeped that out with the whole Nneka thing and was just kind of like, I don't know, but I feel like she's threatened by her, because also too, I don't know if y'all noticed, but when Nneka was sitting at the table or whatever, and she was saying whatever she was saying, this is the first time I ever saw Wendy get up and leave an argument ever. And I think that's because everybody else, she could nail them to the cross with whatever it is she was going to say. And I think she knows with Nneka, she can't just do that because she's equally as smart, in my opinion. So I love Wendy, but it just, it comes across to me, I wouldn't say she's envious, but I think she sees her as like some sort of threat to her spot on this show on Housewives. So, but with that being said, I don't understand why it's such a big deal that you don't know her, she doesn't know you. And also, I'm like, to be fair, how are we holding Wendy accountable for something her mom allegedly did or her sister allegedly said? That don't have nothing to do with me. If my mom want to go out there and cuss everybody out, that's my mama, but I didn't have that behavior. So I don't understand why like people are holding her accountable, or even the one lady. I just feel like this. If you're a real one, if y'all remember back, whenever Gizelle wanted to say Eddie was cheating or whatever the case may be, when Ashley told her that, Wendy went immediately to the source, immediately went to Gizelle and was just like, you're saying this, that, and the third. And to me, I think that's how you should do it. So you've been saying X, Y, and Z about me. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. To me, that's grown woman stuff. I'm not about to go to 14 different other people and say all of these other things about you, this, that, and the third. I'm like, nah, I'm going to come to your face. So that's what makes me think Nneka is probably a little bit of a snake, because why are you going around to all of her cast members and saying these things about her and your problem that you have with her and not her? So I don't know. I feel like they both knew each other, not like intimately, but have been at different maybe events and stuff like that together. I don't think this is new, which is why I think Wendy got up and left and kind of didn't really want to involve herself or continue the conversation on. So I don't know. I don't want to say I feel bad for Wendy, but I kind of do, because I don't think she has an ally outside of Candiace, and they can't wait to get Candiace off the show. Let's just be very clear. And Wendy as well. Like they, for whatever reason, I feel like used Candiace to get rid of Monique, because they couldn't stand Monique, but was pretending that they, was so concerned about about Candiace. And they're doing the same exact thing now. I feel like it's like Robyn has jumped on board with this Nneka lady, even though nobody, in my opinion, has even talked to Wendy about it until this day. So it's just, to me, it's screaming on both of their parts. Nneka and Wendy is screaming phony to me. But that's it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Lakeisha, thank you for the super chat. I agree with Nikki. Wendy said in her second season that she flunked out of law school. I know she was going to be bothered by Nneka because she is an attorney. Thank you so much for the super chat. Emmanuel, you're up.
Whew. People gonna hate me tonight, but that's okay. So first of all,
I'll always love you. No, let me stop.
thank you. So Nneka, she is one of the best additions made to Potomac because she's accomplished and she's actually married. Everyone wants to say that Nneka is coming for Wendy, but I'm just thinking, excuse me? If I'm walking into a show and your mother and sister are making dangerous phone calls that are threatening, yeah, we're going to have an issue because you have knowledge of it. You know that your mother is threatening me because I'm going on the same show that you're on. As far as this Facebook thing, please pay attention, people. This is not about the fact that he was unfollowed on Facebook. Nneka is an attorney. She is going based off the sequence of events. Okay? So your mom threatens me. No. Let's go back. I'm going to be on the show. Then your mom threatens me. And then your husband unfollows my husband. Randomly? Yeah, I don't think so. One event led to another, and it all leads to Wendy and her family have a problem with Nneka.
Yes.
And they didn't want Nneka to be on the show. I'm sure Nneka has her flaws. She speaks a little bit roughly to her man, but she is a successful woman. And I agree with someone who said it earlier. Wendy is insecure. She is also someone who is not satisfied because you want to be a professor, you want to sell candles, you want to open up a lounge, you want to be on CNN, you want to have a talk show, you want to be on Housewives. She's lost. She doesn't know what she wants. And I'm sure that she sees Nneka as a threat. I mean, they're from the same tribe and both have several degrees. I have much more to say about Wendy's gaslighting and her deflection later on in the episode. But as far as Robyn and Gizelle, had this been any other husband, Gizelle would have used this to terrorize the wife the whole season. But that's just Gizelle and Robyn, same old, same old. And I agree with E. Quit flirting with young men. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Here's the thing. This show is not about a show of intelligence, right? Because listen, we see Married to Medicine. You're not getting a doctor's degree easily and being in that field for decades, and you're stupid. But yet, they don't all live up to their degree, you would think, right? You want your regular dentists and doctors acting like that. I would not, right? But when it comes to Wendy, I get it. She has her doctorate, but this is me personally speaking. Does she live up to that from what we're seeing on the show? No. I think that that whole scene at Pickleball, but we're gonna get there, which cringeworthy. Her getting up, her flipping her hair. I just thought like it just to me was just out of control.
Corny.
It's like, yes, it was.
She was trying to be the white woman that she's seen Gizelle and Robyn be. She wants to be that girl, and she's not.
Right. And then, but in addition to that, though, too, it's like she got on the bandwagon, but they just used her because they wanted Monique out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then once they got Monique out, they dropped her like a hot potato. Nneka will find out soon enough that she's being used, and once they're done using her, they're gonna kick her to the curb too.
I want y'all to keep that same energy that you got today. Keep the same energy for Nneka. Keep that same energy.
Well, I got energy for Nneka because she's
that part right there, Royal.
She's a hot mess. Nneka is a hot mess. I mean, you're coming with this story, right? Then I would have shown the phone calls. But my whole thing is she muddied the waters with this stupid, unfollow on the Facebook. It was just dumb. But let me move on because I got other people to get in. Dustin, your thoughts? All right, I gotta move on. Let me move on to Denzel. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm here. That scene with Nneka and her husband, it was a little for me, it was a little cringe. And and then I don't believe Nneka when she was saying that Wendy's mom and her sister is trying to do something to her. I don't believe that. I think, and I think, in my opinion, I think Bravo brought Nneka on the show to start some mess with Wendy and try to get her off the show. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And getting mad about the thing is, if he's upset about being unfollowed on Facebook, okay, well, just block him. Just block him. Grow up. This is not high school. Grow up. And so that's it for that scene. And I don't like, because I have, it seems like it's some bad energy coming from Nneka. And to me, she seems like this is how I feel. She seems like the devil, and she can't be trusted. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm over that scene. The scene with Robyn and Gizelle, that when she was flirting with that young man, that was weird. Okay, that was weird. And then she needs to stop worrying about Gizelle. She needs to stop worrying about other people's men, and she needs to get a man for herself.
Yeah. All right.
And
Okay, I'm sorry.
oh
No,
it's one more thing. It's one more thing, and then and then Robyn talking about about Juan hearing he can't hear, he didn't yell. It's like stop. You hear me?
yes.
Okay, I don't believe Robyn when she said that. I think she lied, and she needs to stop taking up for him because he hates that woman. He don't like her. So I don't know why she's still trying to take up for him. I'm not trying to be funny, but she's stupid. But it is what it is. It is what it is. That's it, and that's all, Diva.
Thank you, Denzel. Jonah, thank you so much for the super chat. She said, can we just get along? Can we just get along? Okay. Shan, you're up.
Initially, I was blaming Ashley for the beef with Wendy and whatever from the trailers. But now I'm looking at Nneka, like, is Wendy going to be your whole storyline, your whole life? Every time we see you, it's Wendy, Wendy, Wendy. It's giving obsessed, somebody playing Mariah Carey. I don't like that. And the whole Facebook thing, I was really laughing so hard. Because I haven't been on Facebook since like sophomore year of college. And I'm old. So that's like 8 years ago. Like that's a while ago. Who's even on Facebook like that? Like watching. I mean, if you said Instagram, then I might say, okay. But come on. And like, it's very obviously people can, act how they want. But it's very feminine for a guy to come to you and be like, oh yeah, this other guy unfollowed me. It's very, like, I don't want to offend anybody. Like, I don't care. Like, everybody could be how they want. But it's like, I don't know what that gave. Okay? Because I was looking at him like, you a damn fool. It's not that deep. What I want Nneka to do is I want her to find herself. Give us something where we can say, Nneka is so-and-so. All we get now is Nneka is obsessed with Wendy. And so is her husband. Allegedly. Robyn and what's the other girl name? Gizelle. I almost forgot about her. That's how forgettable she's becoming. I don't know. The food looks good. I'm so uninterested in them. The food looked very good. I want a big pretzel. Okay. That's that didn't sound right. Okay. What else happened? What other scene happened? But yeah, Robyn was twisting the whole story. I didn't like that. What was the next scene, Diva?
We just did scenes. We just did the 2 scenes. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Listen, people are saying, well, what does these movements and stuff have to do with your intelligence? Well, first of all, remember, Wendy is the one calling somebody slow, right? But forget about all of that. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is this. Too much is given, much is required. And you learned, I'm not gonna go on because y'all stuck on just because she's dark skinned, this is why things are being said about her. They're all messy, every last single one of them. But Wendy can't read at all. And I just think that she just goes over the top with certain things, but we'll get to that scene. Don, your thoughts?
The price of fame.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. That's why I like it when you hear. Come on, talk.
These people, okay, you're another one that has 7,000 degrees, 26 houses across the world, and that's still not good enough.
Come on. Come on.
You decided to hop your happy self, not happy Eddie, but happy self. I wanted to say something else onto this good show on Bravo. To do what?
Right.
We haven't learned anything about your family. We haven't seen pictures of your people. We haven't even seen a scene with your in-laws, your mother. You don't have any kids. We've only seen your dog and the construction on your house. Why are you here?
Uh-oh. Why are you here? Oh, damn. Okay.
What's the purpose? We're finding out. You are an industry plant. You were brought here to stir up trouble.
Come on, talk.
On behest of the Green Eye Bandits. And it's no surprise. I said it when she came in. She has an intention to go up against Wendy. And it's not colorism, but it is bigoted. Because you're doing it on behalf of somebody.
Yeah, come on now.
That has these issues. I want to know what's her story. Because her storyline has been Wendy and Eddie since she's been on, how many episodes we're in? 4? And that's been her storyline. She's bringing us Gizelle 2.0. We know nothing about you other than your mother in the phone, your sister-in-law in the phone.
Oh, shoot.
And that's it.
It's given Jamal Bryant.
We need to learn something about you. It's called The Real Housewives of Potomac. Not let me stick on to this character to try to build my name up. See, I understand why. I don't like a clout chaser either. And apparently they knew what she came to do. I do believe there was an outside conversation that happened between families. And I do believe Wendy's mom got in that ass with somebody on that side of the family.
Come on, you better talk. Come on, talk.
And I do believe, but the problem is, why not bring your why are you fighting Wendy for what her mama said? That's what I don't understand.
I agree with that too. Yes. Talk
to Wendy's mom. Talk to Wendy's sister-in-law. But you're mad at Wendy. What? Come on, girl. You got degrees too. Put your degrees to work.
Come on now. And give it up for Candiace, because then Candiace tell us, she said, why are you mad at her for something her mother said?
Right. Let's break this. I mean, you sound like an idiot. Every episode you're talking about Wendy's mom, who hasn't even done a scene with you, but she's obsessed, and it's sickening. And her husband, let me tell you something. My daughter told me Facebook is for old people.
Oh, damn.
She said it's TikTok and Instagram. And let me tell you something else. Facebook allows 5,000 friends. I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. If I see somebody in a request that wants to be a friend of mine on Facebook, I'd go and delete a whole bunch of people. If I know you or not. And just because we went to college together 20 years ago, don't mean I know you. Just because we work together, don't mean I know you. Just because we go to church together, don't mean I know you. You are an associate in passing. This girl has made up 7 different stories. And then her husband come tagging along. They're not even in fraternity together. He comes tagging along. Oh, he knows me. What's the big deal? It's like he's trying to get his rocks off really bad to Happy Eddie. He's upset that he's not his friend. And it should be some type of bro code against that. I mean, why are you mad because I hit unfriend, unfollow? That's something that these high school girls do. That causes a big fight in the locker room or the cafeteria.
Come on now.
And here you're upset with a whole another grown man because he unfollowed you. Who cares if his wife said unfollow him? We all know the man is the head, but the wife is the neck. We all know that. And there's some persuasion in every household when the wife says, we're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with them. So we got to keep that real. And to this Robyn and Gizelle scene, it's just so sickening with them two. I can't stand to see them two have a scene together because Gizelle is such, and we're talking about a gaslighter. Like E said, she tried to defame every husband on this show.
Come on now.
But are you going to bring security? Why you didn't bring security to Pickleball?
Oh, shit.
Because you sure had security behind you when Monique's husband was at the reunion.
Chris Samuels.
Yeah, when Chris Samuels was at the reunion, and you just said Juan yelled at you. That's the same thing Chris Samuels did, right? Was yell at you and this guy was aggressive to you. So where's your security at Pickleball? That lets me know you're full of shit.
Well, you came ready tonight, Dawn. Good gosh.
Full of it. And she needs to let it pass. Get some Pepto-Bismol or something. Because she's full of it. The selective outrage is, don't pass that on to your girls.
Woo.
It's a horrible trait to have.
Mm-hmm.
You're mad at everybody else except the man who's actually out here doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to get on your podcast and say you believe it. Oh yes, because I've seen signs. And then the dumb girl says she made it up. So where's your retraction?
That part.
But she's not held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just waiting for her to be on the edge of their picture. So the next step is for both of them to be off the cast because they're not bringing anything.
Nothing at all.
At all.
And you know what, Dawn? You know how many people inbox me with this alleged story with the mistress and whatever the case may be? And you know what I said? I'll pass.
Absolutely.
Because
but they should have been believed everything.
That part. I'll pass. This girl pregnant. We can't see it. We don't know nothing. You don't know the baby. Then it come to find out she got the sonogram off the internet. That's why a lot of these stories, I'm like, I'll pass. I can't do this with these people. It's the foolery. It's the y'all doing a show, and y'all want to do stuff for the show, but then it trickles over to people's real lives, and they don't give a darn. That's the part I'm starting to dislike too. I mean, how much do you really need $1 that bad? That you don't care what family you're going to tear down, who you tearing down. There's but so much I'm going to do for a storyline in the show. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's 200 grand, 300 grand. I don't care what it is. There's but so much. I'm going to go but so far. We ain't doing all this. And the math is not mathing with Nneka and her husband because you going this hard, but yet y'all are so wealthy. I don't get it. And like you said, fame for what? Come on now. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought process.
Oh, no, that's it. We got a lot to go.
We sure do. So, Sebastian, you're up.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad I got into this live because I had a class and I needed to vent this issue about what I saw in my eyes last night. Mm-hmm. Okay. Last night, it showed exactly what I needed to know. Wendy and her mother probably feel a certain type of way because of another Nigerian who's successful is on the show, in my opinion. At first, I didn't really like Nneka like that. But looking at it now, looking how Wendy deflected the whole conversation into a whole nother thing to just make sure no one pays attention to what was happening, it made me realize, yeah, I do think Wendy's mother would be capable of saying these things, saying these things. I really do. And I'm gonna explain why I think it's capable. Because I remember the last time when after the Mia threw the drink on Wendy, she put certain things on Instagram that made people were like, whoa, these were very strong words. These were very strong words that she put on Instagram for Mia. So I'm not really. I actually do think Nneka's story is real. And everyone is saying, "Oh, she's not showing her family. She doesn't have a storyline." Well, let me tell you this: Nneka lives in the 20854. She actually lives in Potomac, unlike some of these other housewives, i.e., Wendy.
Boop.
Come on, Sebastian.
She actually lives in the 20854 zip code area. She lives in Potomac, unlike Wendy, Robyn, and I think Gizelle doesn't even live there either. Nor does Ashley. She actually lives in Potomac. Number 2, she is trying to have a baby. That is a perfect storyline. We haven't had these babies on Housewives for a long time. Ashley was the last one, so we're gonna see. Hopefully, Nneka gets one too, and Candiace. Hoping for Candiace too.
Excuse me. She has a storyline. Thank you.
No, I said I'm hoping for Candiace to have a baby too.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Sebastian. You know I get.
You need to calm down.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Also, Nneka brought up her family. She brought her family on the show too. We got to see the cousin-in-law LeBay on a FaceTime production showed. We saw a picture of LeBay and showing how she has a relationship with Wendy's sister Ivy, who's the surgeon. They have a friendship.
Come on.
So I want to know. So the people who are saying, "Oh, she hasn't showed her family, she hasn't showed anything." This is only episode 4. This is only episode 4, and she has shown a lot already.
Nneka?
And she's shown her house.
She's shown her foolery.
She's shown her.
Hold on one second, Sebastian. I'm gonna let you finish. Jonah, thank you so much for the super chat. This show is turning into Voodoo Housewives of Nigeria versus Catholic Housewives of Nigeria. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, go ahead, Sebastian. Continue.
And I'm just sorry. I feel as if this storyline somehow does make sense because of also the sudden Wendy wants to be Wendy is now starting to talk about her Catholic lifestyle and stuff. It's just I feel as if this is somewhat starting to make sense. This is all starting to make sense now because we never why didn't she give us a storyline of her baptizing her daughter a couple years ago? She didn't give us that storyline. She gave us a naming ceremony that Nigerians do, but she didn't give us a christening. She didn't give us I'm just saying all of a sudden, why is all this religion thing coming out? Why? Also, Nneka does have money. As she said in her tagline, Nigeria raised me, LA made me, and Potomac will remember me. And that's exactly what she's making y'all do. Because I see ever since Nneka has been on this show, her name has always been mentioned. We have not had any talk without any Nneka on this show. On at all ever since with Nneka coming on. And there's a reason why. When you are supposed to be a friend of and you get a full champagne flute as a housewife, it shows. If Nneka was able to get a champagne flute before Charisse could, it clearly shows.
Speak on it.
Yes.
No, they gave her a champagne flute, Sebastian. I mean, we're connecting here. They gave her champagne flutes because they clearly want her to, shake Wendy off her square. Right?
And you know what, Wendy?
You gotta say that, diva.
Wendy deserves everything that she's getting.
Yes.
For one main reason, and I'm going to give it all. When it was time to drag Monique Samuels through hell with all the other women,
thank you,
and Karen, because when Wendy was part of drag, remind you how she treated Karen her first season. Yes. Wendy was all with it. She was all up those green-eyed bandits. Candiace too. They were all up them green-eyed bandits ASS. So now you got to deal with the blowback that's coming with you right now.
Now that I won't disagree with you on. I'm not going to disagree.
That's why I'm not listening to this nonsense of
you are
colorism.
telling the absolute truth and facts there, right? What goes around kind of comes around. But the thing that where Candiace, Wendy are messing up, first of all, they should have band together with Monique. And they would have stood a chance of taking down the Green-Eyed Bandits, right? But see, the Green-Eyed Bandits, they're successful at icing everybody out. Because here's the thing, anybody that comes on there need to understand, you're not going to bust between those two. So those two will always have each other. They will always have each other. So at the very bare minimum, you're going to get 2 against 1. You understand what I'm trying to say? So somebody else needs to come up there and they need to fight for the greater good and band together. But see, they are all so worried about being friends with Gizelle and Robyn that they can't band together. And Robyn and Gizelle know that, and that's why they can play everybody like a puppet. The only person they're never going to knock off their square is the Grand Dame. They're never going to knock her off. She can stand alone. Now,
but they had the numbers though, Diva, because it was who's this, Candiace and Wendy together. Y'all had 2 against 2.
First of all, don't nobody care about them doggone Green-Eyed Bandits.
When y'all got to the reunion, y'all backtrack and say, "Oh no, it's no color." That was your time.
That part right
That
there.
part.
What I'm trying to tell you is they don't have the strength to stand alone. They will fall in those ladies' trap every time. Yep. And Gizelle knows it. And Robyn knows it because
like
they're insecure.
You got this, right?
The price of fame.
Right. So when you had the opportunity, but then she reversed it and used it, because you see when they showed the back footage, she goes, "You're sitting there with your white privilege behind, but you just told us there was no colorism." So right you there. See, they use it when they want to, they throw it away when they want to, and that's why they will never stand at the top. Because they're so busy flip-flopping and playing on the fence. They're humping the fence.
There you go.
They're humping the fence. And see, if I was to come, I would not hump the fence. I would be 10 toes down, getting everybody in my corner, even if I got to play in their face like I like them, just to get everybody in my corner and at least shake them. I will at least shake them in the square. See, Gizelle knows she don't have to speak to nobody she don't want to speak to. Why? Because she got it in her mind right now and she's right. She ain't going nowhere. She got it in her mind. She knows she right. She won't even try to make up with nobody because she don't have to.
Because she's going to sit first chair at every reunion. She only has to get along with Andy. Period.
And I want to say one last thing, Diva. Yes. For the ones who are saying, "Oh, Wendy was Candiace's friend, that's why she had to tie with Candiace and always stick with Candiace." Well, Candiace is a horrible friend because she never stuck with Ashley and she came on as Ashley's friend.
Well,
here's the thing. As much, even remember, at first, Ashley and Robyn didn't get along. Remember, Robyn was always in Ashley's face.
And so was Gizelle, too, for Robyn.
But see, at the end of the day, who do they all partner with? They all turn back and kiss the ring. And the ring is on Gizelle's finger. And because Gizelle is Robyn's friend, they will tolerate Robyn and not really come at her that much. Now, if it was anybody else, they would have joined in and been dragging Robyn to the carpet over Juan.
Yep.
But they're not doing it because of Gizelle. And that's so right. Gizelle does this fake intervention. She drags, what's the name? Sharice into it, Ashley into it. Because you know what happened? Andy said, "Robyn, if you don't come on that show with Juan and handle this business that you didn't give us the footage for before, you're done." And Robyn needs that check, especially because Juan doesn't have a job. So Gizelle said, "I got you, boo." She called Ashley, she called Sharice, and they gave us the fake intervention that Robyn knew she was coming to.
Boom, there it is.
if these girls don't learn, if they're going to do reality TV, they better pick up the book and learn. How reality TV's been out there, over 15 years, over 2 decades, and y'all still don't know how to do this? Because at the end of the day, they still want Gizelle and Robyn to approve of them. They still want to be friends with them.
Validation.
Now, Wendy's not stupid. We're about to get into this last scene because you want to say at the end, you want to make up with anybody. If you was bold, but you knew that Gizelle would have played you in the face, you would have been like, Gizelle, can you and I talk?
For what? Giselle
Hey,
did
Diva, can I say
to try to make
one more
up with
thing?
anybody. Like, y'all sound crazy.
I thought we left mamas out. I thought that we didn't talk about mamas on the show.
Now when your mama's threatening me, oh no,
because
that's a whole other situation.
When they brought up Mia's mom, you know, they had a fit. But all of a sudden now, everybody can drag Wendy's mother, and you know, it's a great storyline. Oh yeah, let's talk about her voodoo. So let's talk about the drunkenness as well.
Well, Mia's mother never threatened anyone.
A mother is a mother.
Mia's mother never threatened anyone, and she didn't even say anything bad about her mother. She said that your mother is talking about me, saying that she's going to submit my name to a shrine.
Sebastian, she said like you were being threatened. Let her file a police report. She's a lawyer.
No,
I hope you know the
Uncle
police don't
Sebastian.
recognize
that's
religious things like that.
So we're going to excuse them talking about Wendy's mom.
Yes,
they're gonna excuse
because she inserted herself.
You're right, Don. Can't nobody stand Wendy. They're gonna excuse everything that everybody else do except for Wendy. It's always Wendy.
Y'all need to stop.
So we gonna let it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's exactly what y'all
wait,
here
Tash
doing.
said one at a time, please. You know what? Here's the thing. It's a bogus storyline for her, right? That she's bringing up this mother thing. So I'm not, first of all, I'm not in Nneka's corner. So it's not really about that. Like, you know, it's a bogus storyline for Nneka. And I already said it. I don't know how many times I could say this over. They brought Nneka up there for a reason. And Wendy knows that reason, right? But my thing is, knowing this ahead of time, don't let somebody knock you off your square. Okay? You know, and so she's saying, oh, my mother, your mother is a witch, your mother is a that. But you notice, now Wendy know how to get down in somebody's face. But when she said, don't say my mother again, and she said right after that, your mother's a witch.
Boom, there it is. Clocked you.
Come on. You understand what I'm saying, E? You know, because I said, let me watch it. I watched that thing 3 times. I said, oh, that's interesting. She get down with the get down. She told that chick, don't you say my mama. Don't say my mama again.
Your mama.
She said, your mama's a witch.
Yep, she did.
It is.
And she didn't say, and she said nothing after that.
But it was okay for her to talk about Wendy mama to everybody else. Okay.
Mia's mother never got into the show.
Okay. But let's get into this last scene. So it's pickleball. First of all, I'm giving Karen an A+ because she brought all the ladies together. I'm giving Karen an A+ because she called her and her man Mr. and Mrs. Pickle. I'm giving her an A+ because they came in with the green on. And I like the way the couples came dressed in the same colors. Okay, did y'all catch that? So Wendy and Eddie came in with the same colors. You know, Karen and what is her dog? Why her husband name slipping my mind right now?
Ray.
Karen and Ray came in the same colors. Okay. Juan and Robyn came in black. And the other ladies came in, they had on white. I will say this, for the first time in a long time, Gizelle looked cute. Candiace looked cute. Mia looked cute. Robyn was the worst outfit out of them all. It was a whole hot mess. Okay. Then we had Vivian, Karen's friend, was there. Then we had, what's Karen's assistant? He just is always there, out of place and out of pocket. Yeah, he just seems lost all the time. But you know what? Holla, because Karen got her assistant, okay? And he's always showing up to the events. Karen brought the food, and she said, this is my event, and y'all all going to get along. Nneka, Mia, Wendy, and Robyn on the same team. Candiace, Gizelle, Ashley, and Karen on the same team. Okay. Yeah, it was nice seeing Ray Ray. We saw Ray Ray in the building. And yes, and Gizelle brought her hairdresser Kyle. And he seemed to have known some things, okay, whatever the case may be. So we're there at the event. They played together, but they didn't really play together. And you can tell that, you know, Wendy and Nneka, there was some little tension with them being on the same team, period. Now, this is what I'm going to give to Mia. When Wendy said, I want to talk to you, Mia didn't give her no smoke. Mia went ahead and went and talked to her. And that, again, is reality TV 101, right? It's like, you know what, whatever. I'll go talk to her and see what happened. And Mia reminded her, we had already, you know, you said we forgave each other for the slap, but you want to do that again? Okay, we'll do that again. We'll forgive each other, and we'll exist in the same place. I don't know how many times I could say it. That whole scene between Wendy and Nneka, an absolute joke. The whole scene between Ike and Eddie, an absolute joke. When that man said, say it with your chest that you don't know me, I was like, he's a whole doctor, a whole medical doctor. And he's in another man's face because this man allegedly unfollowed him on Facebook. And I'm just like, okay, when does maturity set in? Do we have to wait till people are in their 60s? This is crazy. You're a professional and you in some man's face talking about, say it with your chest that you don't know me. Yes, it was beyond childish. And Eddie was like, what the heck is going on here? So that was a mess. Wendy's Reeves was a mess. Nneka calling Wendy a B was a mess. All he did was some ridiculous stuff. And hey, how about this? Even if somebody's mother submitted my name to a shrine, I don't believe in all that. No weapon formed against me will prosper. So whatever. I wouldn't even. And it was just a mess. I'm gonna let y'all talk because I cannot. E, you're up.
So you forgot one of the funniest parts, and that was when Ashley was lifting up her dress and winding her flat cottage cheese in a circle. That sent me. And when she told the cameraman, don't get distracted, Ashley, hush. That tickled me. And Robyn showed up wearing that Fashion Nova bodysuit. I know it because I have the exact same one from 2 years ago. And she had on those sheer tights to go with it, but she forgot to buy the booty that you put in the back of those pants. Robyn, I did not like that. But anywho, let's get to the main event, because I told y'all before, Wendy thinks she's so smart, but Mia outsmarts her in every conversation. But the difference is that Mia does not need to announce it that she's clocked Wendy. Wendy thinks Mia is so slow, but Mia is fast enough to see Wendy coming before she even said, excuse me, can we go over there and have a conversation? What's the first thing out of Mia's mouth? We had this conversation already. We talked about this already. Translation, Wendy is slow. I don't know how many times they have, how can I say this? People keep saying that Nneka resorted to name calling and calling Wendy the B word. Excuse me, when they did the flashbacks between Mia and Wendy, didn't Wendy call Mia the B word? Wendy loves name calling. She talked about Gizelle and called her neck and Gizzy and all of these things. Wendy does name calling just like the rest of them. And then I saw in the chat earlier, people were saying, well, are we going to hold Wendy accountable for what her mom does? We don't hold Candy accountable for what Mama Joyce does. I beg to differ. We have seen Mama Joyce go ham, and everybody kept saying Candy needs to get her mama. The reason why this issue with Wendy's mom, why I'm excusing them to talk about Susan, is because this won't go away because Wendy keeps lying about it. The difference with Mia's mom, Mia's mom was an alcoholic. She suffered from that sickness. And Mia's mom never talked bad about Wendy on camera. And Mia's mom never called Wendy. So when Wendy's mom is crossing those boundaries and being a Mama Joyce and calling people's in-laws and going down to the church and doing this and that, oh no, you're definitely, it's on limits. And we're not going to excuse it. We're not calling the police. I'm going down to the Bravo cameras and I'm going to talk about you. Now on to the main course. We already knew Wendy was spooked and nervous to come because she knew that Nneka was going to be there. But I knew that she was scared when she kept trying to bring up this backup. Who is this Kiana chick that Wendy keeps trying to force down our neck? She needs backup, okay? Because for some reason, her and Candiace, they're not as thick as thieves as Robyn and Gizelle are, like me and Diva already said earlier. Now, Wendy also claims she got the bazooka, okay? And she has so much favor. Remember she said that? Yet she comes across as so desperate and she's a wannabe. Wendy thought she ate that scene, but she couldn't even put the first forkful of what she thought she was about to eat in her mouth before Nneka cussed her monkey ass out. And when I heard all those B words fly out of Nneka's mouth, I was like, okay, here we go. Juan is not the only person who clocked in. Nneka was clocked in and working overtime, and I love to see it. Nneka cussed Wendy out as if Wendy had rear-ended her Range Rover and Wendy didn't have no car insurance. Wendy looked a goddamn fool. And then Wendy had the audacity to ask for receipts. Well, ask and you shall receive. What did Mariah say? Do you need the receipts? Because when they showed that screenshot of Susan calling on the Good Friday, Diva, like I said, I almost had to put my flat screen down on the lower level because I needed to see what was really going on. It was embarrassing for Wendy. You call yourself a professor. Girl, this is embarrassing down to John Hopkins. You should be plenty embarrassed about this. And listen, I hope y'all know Wendy Osepo was giving epic fails. She kept twirling around like she was Kenya Moore or something. This is what I'm talking about. She's a wannabe. She's a wannabe. And then she flipped it all of a sudden. Oh, I want to make up with Mia now. Girl, just last weekend you called the girl slow. But see, this is Wendy's MO. Okay, we've already clocked Giselle's MO. This is Wendy's MO. She gets mad, she deflects, then she gets mad again, and then she deflects. This time it's Nneka's turn. I wouldn't be surprised if on the next episode Wendy lifts up her skirt and shows Nneka her coochie, because that's what Wendy does. She makes up with folks, no real apologies. She just lifts up her skirt and everything is fine. Like, I'm over that with Wendy. Last thing, I'm beginning not to like Eddie no more. Matter of fact, I really don't like Eddie. Last week I said I like Eddie with those kids, but this week I see Eddie is fake as a $3 bill and his wife is fake as a $4 bill. Eddie and Nneka's husband went to college together, and even if they didn't know each other like that, you knew each other enough to add him on Facebook or to be following him. You knew his name. You knew you went to the same school. I'm not saying that these two had lunch together, but you knew of one another. So all of this, when Eddie walked up to Nneka's husband and said, "Hi, I'm Eddie, nice to meet you," and Nneka's husband paid Eddie dust, I knew right then that Eddie was on the BS, because what is this? "Hi, I'm Eddie." Like, what is this? What are we doing here?
E, hi, I'm T.
Yes, that's ridiculous. Hey, T. I mean, that's craziness to me. And then when Eddie tried to play it off, and then he said, "I'm just trying to meet people for the first time." When he said that, I'm just looking at the screen like, what is going on? And I really feel like that's what triggered Nneka's husband to like say it with your chest, because Eddie was really gaslighting the situation. He was trying to pull the Wendy Osepo, and he was about to get monkey stomped in that place right there. Just as sure as your name is Diva, Eddie was about to get himself hurt. And Eddie knew he was
unfollow.
Yes, and I ain't got no problem with that, because quit playing with grown men. Stop all that lying. You say that lying for Wendy and your Instagram chicks you be liking their pictures. Don't do that with grown men, because Eddie knew he was in trouble, and you knew it because he started calling Juan's name. What did he say? Juan.
Yeah, I don't know why he was calling Juan either.
Because he was about to get monkey stomped. You know why he was calling Juan's name. He was calling Juan's name faster than Michael Darby at the bathhouse in Baltimore. Juan Dixon. Where's Juan Dixon? Like, cut it out, allegedly. all the men are in love with Juan Dixon, and I'm trying to find out. Juan
Child,
comes strolling
you
over.
could have asked the lady at the laundromat. No, listen. Let me tell you. You know what, y'all gotta find another word to use, because I'm curious to know when we speak about a situation that we don't like about what someone's doing, is that hate? Because if that's the case, then a lot of y'all hate the other personalities on this show. So just because I speak about, because I ain't connected to none of these people in a way like this, I just call what I see on the episode that I see it, right? So if y'all are agreeable with the behavior that all of them displayed, then y'all agreeable. But I'm just saying, no, I'm not agreeable with it. I think that, and I said it before, right? With the way, if you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, the way that Tisa handled when her own cousin threw a drink or whatever in her face, I felt like that was commendable. She handled that well. I just feel like the responses, it has nothing to do with I hate Wendy, because I really think I'm trying to help Wendy band together, knock those two off their square. But I'm telling you, nobody's ever going to knock Gizelle and Robyn off their square, because they scared and they rather them be friends with them than knock them off their square. And they can turn that whole situation around and have Gizelle and Robyn coming to speak to them. Now, let me say this. When Nene was the top dog on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, everybody had to kiss the Nene ring. But at the end, Nene was coming and trying to kiss the other people ring, because they finally knocked her off her square. And I'm just saying that these girls need to get together and figure out which side they're going to pick. Do you want to knock these two off their square? Or you want to forever be running behind them like little puppies begging them? Gizelle is arrogant. She's arrogant. No, I'm not going to speak you know what she said to me? You know what you said to other people, Gizelle, and about other people? But she's arrogant on who she is not going to speak to, and why would she speak to them? And even when they show up in the same space as her, she don't speak to them. I would make it so hard for that chick, she would have to come speak to me. Or else she wouldn't be able to do no scene, but unless the scene is between her and Robyn. I would be connecting with all of those ladies and pulling them all to my corner. I would knock her off her square. And not to get off the show, but to make her play the game right. She refuses to speak to Candiace. She refuses to interact with Wendy. And she's big mad because Wendy read her for filth.
Twice.
Had that one situation. Go ahead.
She read her for filth twice.
Read her for filth twice. Yeah, read her for filth
Woman
twice.
to woman.
And she refuses to even interact with her. But for the sake of the show, I would make it so that girl had to talk to me. Or she wouldn't be in no scenes.
But Gizelle is playing the game because she says, I ain't got to talk to you. I'm just going to bring in Nneka and let her handle my lightweight. But my last thing is this, though, because when it comes to Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, both of them were just as clueless and dumbfounded. And when I really knew that Wendy knew she was losing and she could not save face, is when she had the nerve to try to get up in Nneka's man's face. What are you doing getting up in that grown man's face? Why are you stepping between these two grown men? Like Nneka said, get back. At worst case, you would get your man and get him up out of there. Why was when Wendy and who is this? Eddie were losing, and they were losing bad, and they were about to get whooped, and I love to see it.
They lost. And when she told her to back up, you see, she ain't had that much smoke for her.
Because Wendy didn't want the smoke. See, this ain't Gizelle.
Yeah. She didn't want the smoke. She said, you better back up out my man's face. In my opinion, you're up.
Okay, well, let me tell you, these opinions does not reflect Diva and her channel, okay? I strongly disagree with you. Let me tell you something. First of all, if she's so doggone smart, she's simple and slow at the same time. Because who is an accomplished attorney that's making millions gonna get on the TV and let some good eye snake let you be her puppy? How smart are you? that you stooping so low to be a puppet for somebody else that ain't got a pot to piss in and a wonder to throw it out of. Now, you can call it smart. I call it stupid. Because when you get off this show, you still got to have a business to go back to. I ain't hiring no attorney that's sitting up here showing me this, calling another black woman a bitch. I'm not doing it. I ain't supporting it, and I don't like it. I don't care what your beef is. She sat up here the first time we saw her and said, I've seen her in passing. I don't know her, but I've seen her in passing. So you don't know her. Okay? And evidently, your husband didn't know her all too well neither, because he didn't say he knew them. That wasn't what he said. He was friends with somebody on Facebook, but you so moved that this man unfriended you on Facebook. You ain't hanging out with him, having coffee, tea with him, because Wendy don't know you. And you said you don't know Wendy. So why you got all this smoke for somebody you don't know? Now make that make sense. You look like a fool.
Preach.
You look like a cow, and you showing your colors. I would never go against another one of me for some pimps on the street. And that's what Gizelle. She learned her pimp game from her ex-husband that's out there pimping the ones in the strip club down there at Magic City down there in Georgia. Now make that make sense. And then her flunky over there is getting pimped out while Juan is sleeping with everybody from Canada to America. Now make that make sense. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And Wendy did what she was supposed to do. She ain't supposed to snoop to their level. And she ain't supposed to pull off her crown to roll in the mud with them. For what is it for me to gain if I lose my soul to gain the whole world?
Boom,
right.
there it is.
Okay, in my opinion, they said you got a good word, okay? But they all do the same thing. But I hear you. She sold her soul to the devil when she first came on to get Monique off, but we'll continue. Chanel, you're up.
I don't know who is behind E's. Is that Robyn behind E's picture? I agree, but in my opinion. And the only thing I have to say is this. I feel like Wendy's winning. And I feel that way because why are you and half the other, or I would say 75% of the cast, so consumed with my life, so bothered about me and what I do and don't do and what degrees I have and my husband looking at booty models on Instagram? Like, why are you worried about me and my life? Like, get you a life. Then you can come over here and talk to me about whatever I have going on. Because Robyn don't have nothing going on, and neither does Gizelle, or what's the other one name? Ashley. They really don't. So I'm just kind of like, it really kind of like warms me up inside when these evil people can't get to her. I think she's slightly bothered, but I think anybody would be somewhat if you got 75% of the cast having a problem with you. But again, you have a problem with me for what? What has Wendy actually done for these people to hate her? Gizelle doesn't like her because she, like Diva said, she read her from head to toe. Same thing with Robyn. She doesn't like Robyn because she read Robyn from head to toe. We already know who Ashley is. So again, who is she competing with? What has Wendy done to anybody on this show? She didn't go up to nobody's relationship. She, other than calling what's her name, Mia slow, which, like I said before, she's not smarter than a fifth grader. She can't speak without telling a lie at all. So I'm like, stop being so bothered by me in my life, and then I could respect you. But everybody has something to say about her. But what are you saying it for? What has Wendy done? She hasn't done anything to any of these people. And I'm gonna be 100. If I was Wendy and the husband, Nneka's husband, acted like he was gonna come get in my husband's face or whatever, we all going to jail today. Because come see about me, about my husband. We're not doing none of that. Period. So yeah, I'm gonna respond exactly that same way because my husband is not gonna allow anybody to disrespect me. I don't know if I'm winning the fight, but I'm having my husband there with me. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, nah, miss me with that. Like, that lady responded exactly how she's supposed to respond. Again, don't let nobody think that they can run up on you or attack your family. They've attacked this lady family already. So now you want to try to threaten them? Like, nah, we're not doing that. That's it. That's all.
Thank you. Sebastian, you're up.
You know, out of this episode, notice how close Karen and Gizelle were. They were all hugging up, saying, "This is your fault. This is your fault. This is your fault." It shows that there's growth within this cast. Mind you, it used to be Karen and Gizelle that used to be going at it.
Stop
Absolutely
it,
not.
It used to be Karen and Gizelle going at
Come
it.
on, Sebastian, stop it.
And now who's going at
Stop.
her?
I cannot.
It's the non-OGs.
No,
This
no, you're
show
joking.
has been
Sebastian,
going.
hold on, because I know you watched this show forever.
He
You do
trolling.
not remember that Robyn and Gizelle said they know how to play the game.
Yes, they do know how to
They're
play
gonna
the game.
make up. They're gonna make up at the end because that's how you do it, and whatever the case may be. Listen, all three of them are in bed together in some way, shape, or form, even when they go at it. Because the Grandon, she knows how to play this game. You see how she pulled Robyn aside? We're going to agree to disagree, and we're going to just speak. And I'm not going to say nothing about you unless it's the truth. That's how the Grandon ended it.
Right.
There's several people that know how to do this reality thing.
There is.
Aaron is one of them, and Phaedra is another. Now, there are probably some other ones. I'm going to say Nene was one, but she messed up towards the end.
And
so
Kenya.
there's some of them.
And Kenya.
In Kenya. There's some of them that really know how to play this reality TV game. And if you get into it, you got to know how to play it. You cannot have an enemy forever. And see, Candiace's mother is not stupid either. Did you see when Candiace, and I forgot about that scene, when Candiace's mother told her, she said, "Did you make up with Robyn yet?" She said, "You can't stay mad at people forever." So Candiace's mother even knows there's a way to play this game. And the way you play this game is you cannot hold grudges forever. You got to find a way, somehow, some way. You know, we taking everything for real. In reality, I wouldn't do this. Well, in reality, I wouldn't be sitting in nobody's face, and I wouldn't be at an event with people that don't like me.
That part.
If we want to do reality TV, we got to do reality TV. And reality TV, the name of the game is you drag, but you don't go too far to the edge where this is going to spill over into their real life.
Right.
Find a way to make up and figure that thing out. Now, tomorrow when we do Married to Medicine, and I know, again, everybody loves Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly drags to the point where it spills onto people's real life, and that's the part where she's messing up. Because Sweet Tea said she tried to call me to hang out with her for her birthday, and she said, "I don't even pick up the phone." See, if you want to do reality TV, then you got to do it, and you got to do it right. And you got to know how way to make a resolution with the people. But there are some buttons that you could push where the person going to be like, "Oh, hell no, I ain't making up with them, not even for this show." So she's not doing this thing right. She's doing the thing and she's hanging on by a thread. If she was doing the thing right, they would have never had to call Nneka. They're calling Nneka in as the finisher. Now, I'm not saying that she's going to finish her. We're going to have to see. But they call Nneka in as the finisher. So they've been on Wendy's neck for a minute, right?
I'm going to answer when you're done.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to let you go. They've been on Wendy's neck for a minute. They tried everything to get her out. They done said the husband was cheating, the this, the that, the ever, the whole thing, Mia throwing the drink. They tried everything. So their last straw right now is, we're going to bring somebody in for our own culture, because last time they know that last season they almost messed up because the fans got in with this color thing. But see, they talked, in my opinion, they talked to Candiace and they talked to Wendy behind the scenes. It was like, don't let our show go down over this color thing.
Yes. So you think Bravo did it?
Down at the reunion, and they let those girls play them. You ain't gonna play me that easy.
Right.
Well, if you want to talk dumb, then everybody's dumb, right? Because you ain't gonna play me that easy. They talked to them, to me, behind the scenes, and they all came together as one. Because Andy said, "I asked y'all what y'all wanted to do, so that we, the people, could not blame it on Andy." He said, "I asked y'all what y'all wanted to do. Y'all said y'all didn't want nobody. Y'all said y'all wanted to talk this out amongst yourself. And the two people that are not light-skinned, those are the ones that spoke. and they pretty much said, and I'm paraphrasing, we're good.
There's no colorism. That's
correct.
Go ahead, Sebastian. Finish.
Listen.
Wait, we gotta let Sebastian finish. I gotta go around. Go ahead, finish, Sebastian.
But one thing I will say this is that there's a reason why Potomac works. They have 4 OGs still from season 1, and we're on season 8. You only imagine how long that has been. Orange County, that's been the longest, don't have that many OGs that have lasted over those years. Potomac is great. It's a very good show. Karen's the grand dame as always. Wendy and Nneka, I like this little hashing it out with each other. It's gonna be good because this is exactly what Wendy deserves for running off Monique off this show with them. Because I remember seeing how Wendy was all up Gizelle and Robyn's behind. People keep forgetting this. She was all up, and then I remember Wendy dragging Ashley when she wrote that character statement for Monique. A character statement, y'all. Not a statement as witness, a character statement. She dragged Ashley and said, "You were Snake for that. That's very Snake-ish." Well, you know what, Wendy? Now you're gonna have to deal with what you made your bed, and now you're gonna have to lay with it. Gizelle and Robyn are not gonna play with you because the last time when Gizelle brought the whole rumors about Eddie cheating, which I don't think those were true, but she brought up those rumors. You got so mad, you started saying a whole bunch of things. You started saying, "Oh, you and Jamal and etc.," which I do think are true, but you started to bring up all those things, and now look what happens. Now she's gonna make sure that you burn now. She's gonna drag you now. And for the colorism thing, this is why. So they don't have to deal with the colorism comments because now they're gonna make Nneka do it. Someone who comes from the same culture as Wendy, same tribe as Wendy, educated almost as much as Wendy.
There's a word for that though.
They're going to make that happen. And now it's just this is all that's going to be happening. And I know some people are saying, "Oh, Monique was violent." Yes, Monique was violent. That's true. But Monique did have a binder that was going to reveal it all. But y'all dragged her when she was trying to reveal that.
Well, Andy saved her. Andy saved Gizelle.
Andy did save Gizelle because that binder seemed to have receipts.
No, it had receipts because if you remember when she said, I got the messages from this phone number, and he called out the phone number, and Gizelle sat there and froze and had to say, "Yeah, that's his number."
I would have said no. I'm sorry. I would have said no. I'm not saying yay to that.
All right, let me thank you, Sebastian. Didon, because my screen keeps flipping. Did you go?
No, I didn't go yet.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a reality game.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go low, I'm going to hell. And that's just the way it is. You're not going to talk about my family. You're not going to say what you want to say. And then I'm going to rise above and float in the clouds. That's not the game that I'm going to play. And that's not the game that I think should be played on these reality shows. Mm-hmm. Candiace has every right to ignore the hell out of Gizelle and never speak to her again because she played that game way too low. She played it way too low. And Wendy is the same thing. She should have never, just Gizelle with Gizelle. I would never speak to her ever again. So, I get that point. But, when people are saying like Wendy tried to get Monique off, I loved Monique on the show. But when you put your hands on somebody, that takes it to a different level. Y'all can talk about each other, be verbal, but the fighting, no, you can't put your hands on anybody. So that at that particular point, I do agree that it was time for her to go. You just can't fight anybody at all. Don't throw a drink. Don't put your hands on nobody. We can, this reality game, we all know how it's set up. This show is not set up, to be the Huxtables. It's set up to go low at times. So, it's a sad, but it just is what it is. Nneka's husband needs to find some homeboys. Because if you're going to get mad at another man for unfriending you, I'm going to need you to get a life. First of all, I'm going to need you to find a barber that knows how to blend.
Oh, my God.
because your haircut was ridiculous.
Ooh,
Bruh.
not the blending.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to find a barber that can blend that fade, because for y'all to have all that money and for you to come up with that bowl was ridiculous. Yeah, so do that. And then why are you mad at another man for not for I mean, how petty is that? Like I said earlier, that's high school girl stuff that happens. And then Wendy had every right to stand by her husband while Nneka was standing by her husband. Because if anything would have happened, her husband got Ike and Wendy got Nneka. You know, let's just be a 2-on-2. You know, both of them standing over there talking to Eddie. If I was Eddie, I don't want to be in that. That's how Ray plays it. I don't want to be in this mess. Don't put me in this. You see how Coach ran away from the whole situation. The minute Karen said, Robyn is here and I'm glad that she's here, Coach ran away. He avoided the whole situation. And I just believe that's what Eddie was trying to do, trying to play it down. We're not going to go there right now. I do think Eddie has some type of couth about him that he just does. I'm not saying Wendy. He doesn't want to go too low. I think he was trying to keep it above, and he was trying to avoid what was going to happen. Because if he would have said, "Yeah, I unfriended you," and what? Ain't no telling what Ike would have did. Because he was so angry at the fact that he, pressed the unfriend button. That's baffling to me. Y'all grown. You got a whole doctorate degree. And it's not a Juris Doctor. It's not in psychology. You help heal people and you're mad that somebody unfriended you?
Yeah.
You should be busy trying to get your wife pregnant. Who has time to go down their list of friends?
Clout chasers.
And put somebody's name in to say, "Oh my God, they press unfriend." That is crazy to me. I don't know who unfriended me. And I don't care. Do any of y'all know who unfriended you in the past 24 hours?
No, and we don't care.
No, but for some reason, and that receipt was as good as her trying to go buy a car with a food stamp card. Because she said that Wendy called. And that receipt said that it wasn't Wendy that called. She needed to get her story together.
The person?
Did
it actually name the person?
No, it didn't. But that Nneka said that Wendy called at first.
She said her mother.
And then she said her mother called. Nneka can't keep her story straight. She's said 15,000 lies since she's appeared. Can we get some consistency here? Like I said, she's Gizelle 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
You come on the screen and can't keep your lies straight. It's easier to tell the truth than to keep having to make up lies over and over again. I just want them to get some consistency. I want to, something. Give us your reality. And then Juan bumping into the food, he was ready to go. He was ready to go home. He did that on purpose. Because if your ankles are that weak and you play basketball, there's a problem. But like I said at first, we can't have this double standard when it comes to mothers. Because all of them sat around that table and watched and heard Nneka talk about this lady's mother and didn't say a word. But when Candiace said something about Mia's mom, it was a problem.
Yup.
It was a huge issue. All of them had an issue with it. We're not going to bring up anybody's mom.
Yes.
We're going to keep the mothers. We're not going to talk about the mothers. We're going to talk about each other. We're not going to talk about the mothers and the children. It's the inconsistencies for me. If you're going to talk about the moms, drag the moms. Everybody mom gets dragged equally. But don't have a standard for one person and then another person, you know, well, we're going to let you get by with it. No, because she's on your team now. And yes, Wendy did come in and tried to kiss the ring of Gizelle. But like y'all said, you see where it got her. Nneka, you're next.
She is. Let me see. Where am I at? Emmanuel, did I call on you already?
No, not yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I love the pickleball event. Karen and Ray, they are so funny together. I love them. It was interesting seeing Juan there. But let's get to the main issue. So I think I figured out one of the reasons why Wendy always is reminding people that she has all these degrees and doctorate. I think it's because if she doesn't remind them, no one would know because she doesn't walk the walk, because she does not behave as one. And Diva is right with her message. There is a certain persona that you have to keep up when you're a professor, doctor, dentist, whatever. Okay? As far as the argument, I don't know what courses Wendy teaches at Johns Hopkins, but she needs to teach one on deflection, because Nneka was trying to tell her what the problem was. But Wendy was too busy being a childish, corny, immature woman, standing up, walking around, twirling, talking about it's a flop, it's a flop, it's a flop. Wendy cusses at Nneka first, and then Nneka meets her with the same energy. But now it's a whoa, it's me, and I haven't done anything for you to call me a B. Wendy, don't you call other women B's as well? Didn't you call Mia a crater face B?
Come on, Emmanuel.
Another major deflection.
But she threw a drink in her face.
Wendy randomly in the middle of an argument, instead of finishing the conversation with Nneka like a grown woman, she goes and talks to Mia. The same Mia who, you know, just days before that event was slow, low vibrational, and she couldn't elevate someone who was so low, remember? She couldn't do that, but now she wants to talk to her. And here's the thing, Nneka is telling the truth. Wendy's mom said those things, and that's why Wendy was running scared and not being truthful. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Sebastian is correct. Last year, that message that Susan sent Mia was questionable. Someone said, don't bring up mothers. Well, mothers better not bring themselves into the drama, because if they do, then they will be checked.
Boom, there it is.
Mama Joyce was checked.
Eddie is lying. He was looking like the dude from Get Out. He was looking terrified. The cat got his tongue. He was not able to confidently say, I don't know you. And you know why? Because he's covering for Wendy and her messy family.
Yes.
And then Wendy want to get up in Ike's face and want to talk about, oh, I have the bazooka come at me again. Wendy, bye. If you have so many problems with so many people, it's time to look at yourself in the mirror and figure out what's going on.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely not. Those people are evil. Stop.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
That's all, Diva.
Hey, Diva.
Yes.
Was Nneka standing beside her husband in Eddie's face?
Exactly.
Okay.
No.
Next.
No.
Nneka was standing to the side.
Like, you know what?
Diva, can I ask you a question real quick?
Huh?
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Of course.
You're a woman, right?
Uh-huh.
You've seen women with degrees before, haven't you?
Uh-huh.
Every woman has a different tone of how they carry themselves, depending on how they was raised, where they was raised, and what culture they was raised in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say just because a woman has 4 degrees, she should act like one way, right?
Okay.
Okay, I was just making sure.
It's her job.
Well, they keep saying that she's so smart. No, they keep saying that she's so smart.
Let me say this to y'all. Let me say in all honesty, you know, in nursing school, You know, I went to there. You could go like to the 4-year university to go to nursing school, and then they have some nursing schools, right? And so I did both. First, I went 2 years, and then I went to a nursing school, and then to get my bachelor's in nursing, I had to go to like the university, whatever, right? I say all that to say, even when I went to work in the hospital, they said, you know, they tell you a certain way you have to act, how you should carry yourself as a nurse, and that whether you're actively doing your nursing job or you're outside of it, they have a certain way that you should carry yourself, and they want you to. Not saying that everybody is going to follow that, right? But even when I was in, you know, and I did other things and went to other jobs, they have a certain way they want you to carry yourself. And a lot of them too, when you walking around on the outside, if say you going out for lunch, they ask you to put your badge. If you have an ID badge, you know, for your job, put your badge in you. Right? There have been plenty of people that got fired when they wasn't even on duty for doing some craziness off duty. They got fired from their job because their job didn't want that behavior connected to them. I'm saying that as adults, let's forget about the degrees, right? Let's forget about degrees for a minute. Let's just say as adults, you have to be smarter and know the bigger picture. The bigger picture is reality TV is not going to last forever. The bigger picture is you don't know who's watching you. The bigger picture is sometimes people see you and you don't even know they're watching you, and you will get the next job because of the performance and how people saw the things that you were doing on one job or maybe on the TV. So I'm saying that these people are not playing the long game. The long game is, and not for nothing, this is how Nene is hung up right now. Who wants to work with that? Who wants to, come on now, Special K, professionalism. Who will want to work with that? So you always got to think to yourself the long game. I'm just saying I would play the game. And you know, I know y'all want to say, oh, I don't like this one, don't like that one, whatever, right? I'm saying besides this, I'm talking all of them. What is the long game here? Because you can't worry about this one check that's in your face right now. You got to worry about your future unless you don't care, unless you are banking up that money, you saving that money. See, the other thing that happened to Monique is once she left, all of those products that she was selling, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, the sales tanked. Because when they're out of sight, out of mind for a lot of these reality stars, right? The one who will survive with her business for sure once she leaves reality TV is Stormy. Right? Because Stormy had a whole business and whatever before she even came on that reality TV. A lot of them that are building up their products on reality TV, when they leave that reality TV, then what? So all I'm saying is, I get it. Nobody's talking about being perfect, but I am talking professionalism. I'm not even, just like on here, I'm not saying, you know what, there's a lot of YouTube channels where you on a panel and every other word, there's a curse word. Every other word, there's a curse word. I don't do that over here. And I'm not saying I'm perfect or better than anybody else. I'm saying you got to set the standards because you never know who's watching. You never know what deal you could get. You never know what you're going to make. You can't think about the moment. You got to think about the future. When do people start looking at me so that I can have, you know, their product on my platform or whatever the case may be, they can advertise here and they go back and look at come on, Special K. Thank you for giving me the word. Create your brand. When they go back and look at my videos, I'm not up here talking about FUB, you hoe, you slut, I'm not doing all of that. When I do a story, I have said this before and I said this many a times. I get plenty of emails, do this story, do that story. They try to get me to connect to the whole Candiace husband was cheating and got the mistress pregnant. And I left that story right on the floor. I ain't pick it up. If you notice, most of the stories I do, probably 90% of them, there's an article attached. So I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying you got to know the brand you want to put forth. You got to know what you want to do and who you want to present. And you will never have to say, here's the thing. You will never, there's people, you know, I was always told People that got money, they ain't gonna sit there and tell you I got money. You could just know it. People that are really intelligent, they would never have to tell you about their intelligence. You just like when they speak, you like, God darn, they smart.
But I think it's good for Potomac, though. I'm just saying, in that setting, I think it's appropriate.
And that's fine. But I'm talking about if you building a brand, if you have a long game, if you're presenting yourself as a lawyer, you're presenting yourself as a doctor, you're presenting yourself as someone with a doctorate, then to me, everything else that comes behind that should be part of what you're talking and you're presenting. That's just me. Now, I ain't the smartest chick out there. I ain't go to Harvard or Yale, but I'm saying that. And I tell anybody that come to me and say, oh, I'm about to do this, or if they want my advice and they're asking me, I'm about, what's your brand? What do you want it to be? Think about that. Think about that as you move, because it's going to matter. Someone told me, be careful about all your videos you put out there, because when it comes time for these brands to come to you, they're going to look back. They're going to look back. So what are you presenting here? You can't say, oops, I was just doing that for a show. They already see us as a certain way. If we're going to do real talk here, and darn it, y'all killing me with this overtime. If we're going to do real talk, they already see us as a certain way. Now you on this TV cutting a straight fool. Who am I up to? Did I go to you, Shan? I'm lost now. I need to get.
I haven't gone.
Okay, I'm coming to you. I like to go in order so I could stay in line here. Shan, did I come to you?
Yes.
Okay, I did. Okay,
I'm connecting with that, but this is a reality show, right? They're dealing with the issues of their lives. Right now, Nneka is an issue. So Wendy's dealing with it. She's not teaching currently, like literally, she's in a scene about her life. So it's like we can't make everybody responsible for everything they do outside connect to their career. Because we're not watching a show about Wendy being a professor. We're watching a show of people attacking her and her family and her responding and trying to defend herself.
So hold on, Sharon. Give me a minute. Obi, thank you for the super chat. Long gay doesn't apply to the GEBs.
We're not bandits.
No. See, y'all got. Well, I'm gonna leave y'all there because I can't explain it no better. I'm gonna leave.
You're missing the point.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for connecting with me. I understand professional conduct, etc. But why is this application? It's not only on Wendy. Did you not hear me say the chick is a lawyer? That you didn't hear me say the husband is a doctor? Come on now. We gotta. Here's the thing is we gotta go. I get it. We're talking about a reality show, but then if we get onto a serious conversation, we gotta connect. I'm not on this level where it's just Wendy. Come on now. I said this man is a doctor, and he's straight up talking about say it with your chest. Okay, she's a lawyer. She's a whole lawyer, and at the end of the day, one day this thing is going to close out.
It's going to be bad.
That chick as a lawyer, not me, because when you go to hire a lawyer, everything you hire a lawyer for, it matters.
I agree with.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let you finish it. A doctor. I want my doctor bucking up at somebody. I don't think so. I understand professional conduct, but why is application on Wendy alone? Because she's a professor. That's the case here. And the bigger question for me. Well, then you didn't hear a lot of the conversation that went on, Obi. Finish up, Shan.
No, I agree with that because, like, I always was raised like, be careful what you post online. Be careful that it could come back to haunt you. I'm all for acting professional and being morally correct, but right now Wendy is a reality star, right? So I feel like she's doing the reality mess. I'm not saying I agree with her doing that, but what I'm saying is right now she's not in the classroom in that setting, and we love to see the mess, right? We want to see some reality TV, right? Unfortunately, her career is. There was a comment I just saw. I agree with that. She's connected.
Listen, here's the other thing, Sharon, too. There's a whole lot of people that got scholarships, right? And they lost their scholarship because of something they posted. Everything is connected.
That's true. But I feel in my heart, Wendy want to be a reality star. You know what I mean?
Got you. Understand.
Like, I'm not saying she's right in that. I definitely understand what you're saying, but I don't think Wendy want to be a professor. I think she want to be a reality star, because I wouldn't be a professor and be on this show. I wouldn't be a lawyer and be on the show. I wouldn't be a doctor and be on, like, I wouldn't do reality TV. So I get that point. This is so biased. I'm sorry. Let me not read the comments. Hey, Andy.
Don't, because listen, I talk about the ladies from Married to Medicine too. I'm consistent with my message.
Yeah, you are, because you drag by Dr. Jackie. You drag Dr. Jackie, who I love too much.
Yeah, I'm consistent with my message. I say it with them too.
That is true.
Yeah,
but you know what? Nneka is another Mia.
No, she's not. Well,
she cannot tell the truth. First, she said, "Oh, your mother called me. Oh, your dog called me. No, wait. Let me clear it up. You called me." Like LaDon was saying, like, get your story straight. The only thing I'm disappointed in Wendy. Like, when she went to talk to Mia, I was like, what are you doing? Because I have to agree, it was given deflection, and it's like, why are you running to talk to Mia? Like, if anything, I'm gonna be like, Candiace, can I talk to you? Like, because I need to calm down. You run to Mia and try to be like, girl, we don't call each other B word. So that situation made me look at Wendy differently, because I was like, you just told the girl she was slow. And then Mia, I was looking at her. And then, you know what? E was saying last week, she was like, you know, Wendy is so-and-so. And I definitely understand what E was saying last week. I was like, damn. But at the same time, I like Wendy. And I feel like Wendy is trying to defend herself. I didn't like the whole hair flipping and twirling and stuff, because I was like, okay, it's very performative, but she's trying to defend herself. Nneka has no business. Imagine somebody comes to you, come for your marriage, come for your mother. What are you going to do?
I hear you. Y'all got me in overtime.
The way Eddie, okay, last thing. Initially, when I watched it, I was like, damn, Eddie looked shook, like scared, like in the corner. But at the same time, I was thinking, maybe Eddie don't want to be in the drama. Maybe he's just thinking, you know what? I have a career outside of this. But yeah, I'll be short because. Yeah. But I'm connecting with, in my opinion, I'm connecting with the Dawn. That's it. No.
I love you.
I love you.
The Essence, what are your thoughts? I know you've been waiting. I
have a lot of thoughts, but I feel like this is the most important thing to say. I feel like Wendy has been guilty of insecurity since her first season, and she should have been called out then. So I don't really think that it's appropriate for us to be looking at Wendy sideways now, when she should have been held accountable for not being a positive representation of a dark-skinned woman. That's how I feel. I'm a dark-skinned woman, and I feel like Potomac is particularly problematic because it keeps perpetuating the fact that dark-skinned women feel inferior to light-skinned women. And let's be honest, like, we're all adults here watching the same TV show, and unfortunately that's the underlining message of Potomac. So that's the first point that I have to say. I feel like Wendy did not hold herself to the stature that we the people held her to, as a professor, as somebody who is a commentator, as someone who is highly educated. She came in with her head held low, in my opinion. And it wasn't until she got fed up and read Gizelle for filth. Okay. So that's my opinion about Dr. Wendy Elsefo. Secondly, I feel like this show is very problematic, because the way we deal with colorism is the same way we need to deal with the stereotyping that's going on between these two Nigerian women. And for Nneka to come in and to proudly shuck and jive for them and do that is disgusting. You have to understand, it's more within the African-American community. We might call somebody broke, say you're on Section 8 or whatever, but within the Nigerian community, Nneka is very classist. And that's coming from the Nigerian viewers. They said that Nneka is classist. She used a slur that was used for for poor Nigerian people. And on top of that, she's using a stereotype of doing voodoo. Like, it's very problematic. What Nneka's doing to Wendy is the same thing that Gizelle and Robyn perpetuate onto all the darker skinned people on the show. And lastly, I just feel like Wendy hasn't crossed the line to where she has damaged her brand or her image, but I feel like she's teetering a little bit too close to it because she needs to hold herself up to a higher standard as far as being proud of who she is. I think Wendy's insecure. I don't feel like she sees herself as a phenomenal woman who could be like what do you call it when you look up to people? A role model.
A role model. Okay.
I don't think she realizes that she is a role model. She's a role model for me. So I just feel like Wendy needs to be more confident. And if not, she needs to go because it's not a good look for. I feel like it's by design, all of it. This show is very disgusting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of undertones to it.
Yes.
A lot of people only see the mess, but I see the undertones.
Mm-hmm.
And don't even get me started with Candiace. Okay, I'm gonna keep her name out my mouth because she is the biggest pick me. She is. I understand. Wendy has more than insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
She has more than insecurities. She has. I don't want to use the word self-hate, but she don't see what we see, and that's a problem.
Well, boom. Oh, you hit it there. You actually helped me connect to what I think other people was trying to say to me in terms of these two being from the same culture. She's playing around with a lot of cultural things, Nneka, and is being very messy. And for her to bring up this voodoo. But see, here's the thing with the voodoo too. And I know it may be a lot more in that culture where maybe that comes up. But again, it's bringing up these stereotypes that they think about the brown community anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? So
it's by design.
It's by design that we do voodoo. We're witches. We're this. We're that. It's bringing up a lot. And yes, it is problematic. But again, they wouldn't be able to do it unless these people play into the game. And they're willing to play into the game. And the part I cannot connect with is you're willing to play into the game for what dollar amount do you sell your soul to the devil? Because you can't get it back when you sell your soul to the devil.
Amen.
You can't get it back.
Wendy Ben did that for me. I peeped Wendy for who she was season 6. You're not about to tell me that when you revealed your new body and Wendy and Mia came in that first night you revealed your body and she started talking about all the things she had, you could see Wendy clam up in her just inferior. I'm sorry, the word is inferior. I just get a sense of like I'm inferior to these lighter skinned women. I just feel that from Wendy. And I really don't feel like in 2023 going into 2024 that should be the aura of a predominantly Black show or all Black cast actually of women. It's very highly problematic. And I don't really think a lot of people see that. And somebody said, like, since when did Wendy become the spokesperson for dark skinned women? But let me tell you something. If I'm gonna come in here and 2 women on the cast not even married, one is in a fake relationship allegedly, and they came up with a whole scandal against somebody else's husband because they didn't have a storyline, but I'm highly educated with real jobs and stuff. I'm going, and then y'all play with my name. Y'all gonna feel my air of like superiority. I don't care. Y'all gonna know I'm that girl because I have a life. I have a husband. I have a career.
Amen. Please call in more.
But you know what? No, she gotta know how to play it, and she does not.
She don't because she's insecure.
Yeah.
Because she's insecure.
Yeah.
Maybe
Nneka,
the rest of the people are just
Nneka's disgusting. She is Robyn and Gizelle and a darker skin tone. And people like that, there's a word for them too. Okay. What they call it? Stepping, fetching, whatever you call it. The ones who shuck and jive, that's what Nneka is. Okay. She's disgusting.
It's sad. But again, Candiace and what is her name? Wendy, they're not going to win this game. They're not going to win this game unless they smarten up. They're really not. And it's sad to watch. And yes, so the thing is, Wendy, you knew ahead of time why they was bringing Nneka here, but you let her get to you. Yeah, because you know what she could have did. Because when you don't say nothing, what do they got? She would have said, "My mother's a witch." Oh my God, why you think I wouldn't have said nothing to that chick? I would have let her go ahead and tell her story. I would have paid her dust. Oh, you unfollowed my husband. All right, you think we unfollow? Oh, hey, honey, go back on Facebook and follow him. I don't know how that happened. I would. You wouldn't win. You wouldn't win against me. You wouldn't win against me. I wouldn't let you get nothing off on that TV. And I wouldn't say none to those girls. I would wait till we left. They unmic me, whatever. Me and my husband driving in that car, and me and him would talk. I wouldn't get those ladies nothing. Y'all got me an OT. I appreciate y'all.
Can I make one last?
Yes, you can.
One last point. Yeah. Listen, I'm speaking to the women who need to step up, and I would include Candiace, but I think Candiace is too far gone. Honestly, she is just a pick me pet. You done called my husband. You done did all. Got my husband fired allegedly, whatever. Right? Forget Candiace. She on the dark side. Wendy. What's going on with Wendy and Nneka would be the equivalent of Monique and Candiace coming together, and the whole time they're calling each other broke, saying that they grew up on Section 8, saying that just all the black stereotypes you could think of. That is literally the Nigerian version of what Nneka is doing to Wendy, and that's why I said she's disgusting. You're literally perpetuating stereotypes. Your first season, that's what you want to do. You want to perpetuate stereotypes, and it was the Nigerian community who called Nneka out for calling her a Osu, which is a class system in Africa. It's when the poor are outcasted by the wealthy, and it's been like that, and it's a huge problem in Nigeria. So for her to call her an Osu and for her to say that her mom does voodoo, it's disgusting, it's stereotypical, and I feel like Wendy needs to put her crown back on, and she needs to exude superiority above everybody, and name a time when Wendy has done that. She has never. So I am holding her accountable, because she's the one who could take the green-eyed bandits off their square if she just treated herself the way we see her. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Denzel, I almost skipped you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you, Shan, and thank you, Diva. It's okay. You forgot. It's okay, because you are overtime, so I get it. You ready to get out of here.
My screen, like when somebody drops out, it spins around, and then I don't know who I called or didn't call. But go ahead. I'm sorry about that. Thank you.
It's okay. Why do StreamYard do that?
I don't know. I could find a way to block the spots with numbers, but that's for later. I'll figure that out later. But go ahead.
Okay. So so that event, the Karen's event, the Grand Dame, she did that. I give her an A+ for her
That's right, an A+.
That's right. I give her an A+ for her event. Her and Ray, they look Karen and Ray, they look together. Mr. and Mrs. Pickle, they look good. They look good. That scene, it was a hot mess, and I can understand why Candiace don't like Gizelle, because Gizelle, she try to destroy Candiace marriage, and so I can understand why she don't like Gizelle. The whole thing about Nneka husband, about that Facebook thing. I get it. I understand. I get it, but at the same time, you're a grown man. If he unfollow you,
What's up, Diva?
if he unfollow you, just block him. block him. This is not high school. Grow up, be a real man. This is too much. And listen, I like Wendy, and you know, she had for me, she has every right to defend her husband, but her husband did seem scared, by his demeanor. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. And what's her name? Mecca, she was doing too much. For me, she was doing too much. She was just I think Bravo brought her there to attack Wendy and to get her off the show. That's what I think Bravo did that. That's what I think. And then Juan, everybody looked good, but what was Robyn wearing? And then Juan, he knocked the food over. That was just dreadful, Diva. Like they were hungry and he just knocked off the food. But
So
I don't
you anyway, beans.
the beans. Oh yeah, the beans.
Pickles and
Yeah. The pit now.
Anyway.
Yeah, the pickles and the beans. Yeah, that's not a good combination. But I'm gonna speed it up. I don't believe Nneka when she was, talking about, Wendy's family, trying to, do like voodoo on her. Like you can't. That is a huge allegation. You can't say that, and that you got to be very careful with that. And I like this show. I like the Real Housewives of Potomac, but it seems like, and I hope I'm wrong, deal, but it seems like it's becoming a little dark.
Problematic.
Yeah.
Problematic.
And that's it. And that's so sorry for my time, Diva.
No, you're fine. You're fine. And next time y'all gotta yell out when I skip you. You gotta let a sister know.
Got you.
All right, well, yes. But thank you, Shan, for the save. Okay. Dustin, I'm closing out. What you want to say? Dustin?
I just wanted to say that I have made an announcement earlier on. I made an announcement early on somebody else's live, and I'd like to appreciate it if somebody would go watch it, because it was a very emotional announcement, and I want everybody to know about it.
All right, tell us.
Well, I just recently found out that my uncle has cancer.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm praying for you.
Dustin, I'm praying for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're praying
No
for
problem.
you. Where you was on Juice show?
I was on Light of the Leo. I was in a chat.
Oh, okay. All right. Over here, you can always mention the show. I'm okay with that. I'm so sorry to hear that. We'll definitely be praying for your uncle and your family and you, okay?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He's
no problem.
He's actively in the hospital, and it ain't looking very good.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we're sorry. We'll be praying for you and your family. All right, Dustin?
Thank you.
All right, you're
No
welcome.
problem.
All right, everybody. Good night, y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow we'll be doing Married to Medicine. I don't even know how I could hold up because the way that they doing sweet tea,
It's messy.
Disgraceful.
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
It is.
Yeah, it's trash. Come on.
Trash.
It's very sad. And again, these are grown adults.
Mm-hmm.
Acting like children.
Doctors.
Because how old is Quad?
I forgot.
Isn't she like 45? I think Quad is like 45, 44.
Okay. So you got
Oh, wow.
And you got, how old is Dr. Heavenly?
Oh, no, she's 43. Quad is 43.
Okay, but she's in her 40s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how old is Dr.
Heavenly's 53.
Okay, and Heavenly's
Okay.
53. So you got 43, 53, and a 30-something-year-old, and that's how you're treating her. Like, does that make sense to y'all?
Nope.
It's giving. I'm like,
Come on now.
Like, what is this, high school?
That's why Gizelle swole now, because of her hatred, and that's what's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
gonna
that
swell
part.
up.
That part.
I just think, I don't know. I mean, I get it's reality TV, right? But I'm not losing all my integrity for no show. I'm not losing all my integrity for no money.
I know that's right.
You know, I like my things. Let's not get it twisted. I love my things.
Over your ex new thing.
Yeah. But I'll tell you this though. If ever it need be, I could live in a studio apartment. I'm good. But
I mean, hey,
everything. I'm not gonna lose all my integrity over no dollar, nickel, dime.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
And I can carry, and I get, I told you before, I get clothes from Walmart, Target, Macy's, Bloomingdale's, North Store. I could go low end, I could go high end.
Period.
Right, nothing wrong with that. Period.
I could go to the what do you call the store? They call it, you know, when I was growing up, they call it secondhand, but they call it something else.
Thrift stores.
Consignment store.
Come on, consignment.
There you go.
For Sebastian. Come on now.
Yeah, that is a nicer name.
I do all of that. I'm not connected to things like that I got to give up my whole integrity and do somebody dirty to get $1. I won't. But yeah, I got to live outside this show. I got to live outside this show. Like no future in your funny. Come on now, you got to live outside this show. Come on now. I mean, they drag T for filth on that Watch What Happens Live with Andy, and the whole half of the Watch What Happened Live with Andy was about Sweet Tea.
Who was on there?
It was Dr. Heavenly and Quad.
I need to watch that.
And let's be clear when I say this: there's no one in this world that will want their husband's ex at their bridal shower. Come on now.
Exactly. Come on.
I know I'm not.
Where you doing that at?
At least you're gonna pick me.
Yeah. And my thing is, if you now if my ex had kids with the okay, fine, we'll have some conversations, right? I ain't gonna do that, like, because we need to really get along. But you ain't even got no ties to this man no more because you ain't got no kids. No. But anyway, that's tomorrow, y'all. Good
All
night.
right.
I love y'all. Good night. Goodbye. Because I was supposed to be putting.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Good evening.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
You still got time to cyber shop.